today, Gavin? What was working?
Really, all four pitches: fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. We've been working real hard on being able to get the changeup and the curveball in the zone and get back to throwing four pitches to kind of give the hitters different looks and get off the slider a little bit. So, yeah, I've been able to get those four pitches in the zone and allowing the slider to be just use it as a strikeout pitch. Um, Really allowed me to just put guys away sooner and easier.
I know you're somebody who just wants to be out there, wants to play, and for a little bit this season it's been kind of up and down in terms of just getting in the game. Do you feel like you found something in your pitching over the last couple weeks? That you mentioned you've been working on trying to get the four pitches back into your arsenal. Where do you think, I guess, kind of the improvements come from over the last couple of weeks there?
Yeah. I mean, the way the season's gone, being a bullpen arm, there's different roles you play. And like you said, I hadn't thrown as much recently, just with us not playing as great for those, 4 or 5 week stretch. There wasn't as many high leverage situations that coach wanted to put me in. And it just ended up never really coming around. So you just kind of figure out ways to get better, do whatever you can do to make yourself better and try to take your next step as a pitcher, and that's really what I've tried to do, just hone in on a couple more things I can get better at and just work on those things.
Was it easy getting a handle on the curveball and the changeup? Did you play around with a couple grips? Like, what was the process in learning how to do those things?
Yeah, I mean, I threw 4 pitches in high school whenever I was starting, so it's something that I knew that I could do, and the confidence to do it was definitely there. But with last year, just kind of that process being super quick on getting me back on the mound and doing all that stuff, when we came back in the spring, we really just tried rolling with 2 pitches, getting 2 pitches in the zone, and then kind of going out there and letting the compete factor take over. And then we tried doing it a little bit in the fall and the spring again, just didn't have full confidence, full feel for it. And, yeah, I mean, it's something that I just continually worked on throughout the season and, kind of showed, put on the scouting report that I have 4 pitches, get guys off the slider a little bit now, so it'll help me in the future, hopefully.
Coach was saying you go minimum 2 innings tonight. He said you look back at you in the 8th inning, you were pretty fired up and ready to go back in there. Just you threw, I think, around 50 pitches tonight. It's probably the most you've thrown all season in a single performance. Just kind of how are you feeling after the game? Do you feel like this is something you can kind of work, kind of build momentum on?
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely tired for sure. Got to get rehydrated and recover and stuff. But, I mean, it was part of the point in the season. Yeah. I mean, it's a point in the season where it's a game that we had to win. You lose that game, and the chances of getting into the postseason plummet pretty much. We'd have to sweep and then probably win the SEC tournament here on out in order to get in the tournament if we dropped that game. So, I mean, it was just doing whatever I could do to help us win the game, get on, and, keep going. Like I was telling the guys, pretty soon, a couple weeks from now, every single team that's still playing is going to be in the hot seat, and we'll be lucky enough to have played 15 games, 20 games up to that point where it's pretty much winter, season's over with, and there's not going to be a lot of teams that's gone through that. So it'll be something that we can kind of feed off of and use that momentum to hopefully push through and stay mentally strong than their teams.
Is that something you guys are paying attention to at all? Just like the path that we need to do, the wins that we need to get in order to get into the tournament for sure?
I mean, a little bit, you know what I mean? We knew that game was, a game that had to be won. The RPI would have completely plummeted if we would have dropped that game. But, I mean, you can't really numbers crunch. You can't really put too much pressure on yourself to the point where you go out there and play stiff. But, I mean, it's kind of nice knowing where you're at and just kind of like what you need to do. But, I mean, I wouldn't say that we're up there looking at the numbers every day and seeing who's getting in for sure, who's not getting in, who do we need to outplay, stuff like that. It's just we knew that one was a for sure win, or it's going to make things a lot more difficult on us for sure.
Was that sort of the message that coach had in the dugout in the 4th inning?
I was in the bullpen, so I didn't hear that message. But, I mean, I'm sure it had something to do with the at-bats and the offense, him being a pretty offensive-driven coach, and that's kind of the side of the ball that he handles. So, I mean, I'm sure it was something with that scouting report of maybe a guy coming in. I doubt he would have dropped that mid-game. I don't know. Maybe, but probably would have put a little bit of pressure on the guys. He may have dropped it mid-game, but I doubt he would have said that mid-game.
Speaking of offense, what was it like getting at bat last week? A couple at bats last week.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. That was just kind of a random thing. We were up big, and the substitutions kind of got messed up, and we didn't have anyone else to sub in. And Tommy was still in the field, and Coach wanted Tommy to come out and get off his feet and stuff. And so he just kind of looked at me and told me, go out there, have fun, just go play baseball. He said, but do not sprint anywhere and do not throw a baseball over 50 or 60%. I don't care if you don't make the play, or I don't care if you get on base or not. Just go have fun. If you get hurt, you're going to have to see me after the game. So be careful.
66 mile fastball right down the chute wall. That'll get you.
Make things a little bit easier.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I came back in the dugout, and I was messing with all the guys. When you're seeing 90 constantly, 90, 95 constantly, 66 is pretty difficult. But when you haven't seen pitching in a long time, 66 isn't that difficult. So I was coming in and messing with the guys, for sure.
When you came into the game tonight, obviously you guys were trailing. So when you're in the game, and then obviously in the home half, you guys get a run back. What does that do for you when you go back out for that next inning?
Yeah, I mean, I just tried to provide the guys with some momentum, execute pitches, throw up some zeros, just provide a little bit of life to the dugout, get the offensive guys going, get the position players going. And just the understanding that, they only need to scratch a couple runs off for us to be back in the game. And, just kind of send the message of that the game's not out of reach. Just keep doing y'all's job, stay in it. We're going to do our job in the bullpen. We're going to stay in it for us. Just keep taking good at-bats, keep competing. And that's what they did. And then, good things can happen when you do that.
With just the shape of, I won't say your two new pitches, but your two pitches you're using more often with your curveball and your changeup, how are the shape of those pitches sort of affecting hitters, do you think?
Yeah. It just allows you to pitch guys differently. Hitting's a lot easier when you know what's coming, obviously. But, just kind of keeping guys on their toes, keeping the cat and mouse game going a little bit, and just having fun with the pitching factor of just going out there and competing, you know what I mean? Go out there with 4 pitches. You can see guys take bad swings on pitches that you don't get to throw very often. It's kind of a good feeling to go out there and, just kind of do your thing and see the things that you've been working on kind of come through and help you win games.
Has SU given you some, pointers on just sort of how to utilize those pitches even better, I guess? What have you learned about using those pitches more effectively?
Yeah. Kind of the things that I was just saying about just keeping guys on their toes, being able to mix. I was a hitter. He always talks to me almost like I am a hitter to kind of keep it in that perspective. But, you see a lot of times the guys that give hitters the most trouble in the SEC is a lot of times it's the guys with 4 pitches, not always the guys with 2+ pitches. Hitters will tell you whenever you have 2 pitches, you can just cross one off and sit on one, and then you can get a good swing off on it. So when you're mixing it in there and you just keep their brain going a little bit, it makes your job a lot easier.
All right, thank you, Gavin.
Thanks, Gavin.
Thank you.